All right, here we are back again at another stimulating episode of Prop Talk with myself, Chris Call, and Mikey Trudel. Hey, Mikey.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, so today in the room, I'm just going to throw it right out there, we have Mike Sexton, which is an honor to have you here, Mike. How are you?
Good.
Excellent. Before we jump in, though, I guess, should we, do we need to, let the audience know that this is the last time we're probably going to be in the room together for a while?
Yeah, that's smart. So,
yeah.
So quick apology for everybody for a couple of probably the next bunch of 6 or 7 episodes are probably going to be done through a Zoom format. I'm still going to bring the mixer and a microphone, and we'll try to Actually, maybe I should give you a microphone to take home too.
Yeah, I actually have a microphone. I was thinking about this. I got a room I'm going to set up and everything, and it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, so maybe the audio won't die too much.
Maybe we'll try our best. I'll get the lighting right. We'll do our best to keep it real.
Yeah.
But but we have a lot of good episodes planned coming up too. So we're going to be able to talk to people that in other countries and more, and that'll be good. So,
and since I'm going to be on the East Coast, maybe I can get some East Coasters out there. Yeah,
in there.
That's what I mean. So maybe out of New York and out of Boston, we'll find some.
Yeah,
people
we're going to get a Boston Teamster in. It'll be like a 20-minute episode.
Boston and a New York Teamster. Get them both.
Getting them both in the same room sounds dangerous.
Yeah, it could be fun. Cool. All right, so Mike. So I don't know if. First of all, I have to say, do you play poker?
Well, yeah, I'm not a poker player, but I
because there's a Mike Sexton who's a poker player.
Yeah, I met him over in
Did you?
England. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We were staying in a hotel.
Okay.
I was doing a show over there, and Mike Sexton was down there. They had I forget what the Poker Stars or whatever it was.
Right.
Down in the lobby going on for like a week.
Wow.
While we were there, and one day coming in from work, probably about 7 o'clock or whatever, they were just getting set up, and there was Mike Sexton. I went, "Hey, no way!"
High five, brother.
Same dude. Yeah,
that's awesome. I know why I had to throw that out there, but I was like, I love poker and I watch it all the time, so it's like, I know 2 Mike Sextons. That's awesome.
We got our picture together. I mean, like.
That's
I really
cool.
wanted to, but
no, I know, right? You could give a rat's ass, but hey, it was fun anyway. Yeah. So, Mike, let's start from the beginning with you. Are you from L.A. originally?
Originally born and raised in L.A.
And do you come from a filmmaking family?
Yep, I got I was 3rd generation. So
really?
Yeah, my grandfather started in the 30s over at MGM.
Okay. Whoa.
And my dad, he started in late 50s, early 60s at MGM as well.
All prop men.
All prop men,
wow.
Yeah. And then I had a couple uncles that were in there in the mix as well.
Do you remember what some of your grandfather's films were?
Oh, no. No, my dad, I didn't, my dad didn't talk too much about it. He just never brought up anything of the past. I don't know why, but just never was.
And what about your dad?
Yeah, he did mostly television shows at, back then.
Like in the 60s?
Yeah, 60s, 70s, The Man from U.N.C.L.E.,
nice.
Please Don't Eat the Daisies, that type of stuff in the 60s. He did a lot of that stuff.
Wow. But your grandfather did features then?
No, he did features, but after, I don't know how long it was, he started kind of running a prop house. He started basically the prop house at MGM.
Oh, okay.
And started that whole thing over the hill,
Wow.
back in I think the 40s by the time he actually started that up.
That's fascinating.
Yeah. And then I started at Ellis Mercantile when I first got out of high school.
Right.
What is Ellis Mercantile?
Wow.
Ellis Mercantile was the first ISS.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Right? Yeah. It was Ellis Mercantile and Hand Prop Room were battling out for the biggest and best,
Yeah.
And so back then, Ellis was a big prop house.
Yeah.
Down in, what was it, Beverly and 3rd or something?
Right.
Or Beverly and La Brea.
La Brea, right.
That's what it was, yeah.
They were all the prop houses were down there back in the day.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to them?
They got absorbed.
Yeah, they it was a family-owned deal, and they sold it to some kind of rich dude in the 90s, I think. He kept it for a long time, and then it started to just dwindle out, and they didn't replenish like they needed to, and ISS was getting big.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, they were when I worked through them, it was in the mid 90s. And they were still doing everything on paper, Remember you would get your orders would be all handwritten. They weren't computerized in any way.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, they kind of just fell by the wayside because ISS was a steamroller, and moving up fast. Same thing with HPR. So.
Yeah. So that's it. I started over there and then jumped. I was there about 2 years and jumped into the business. I started at Columbia TV. Had to go through the whole card system, go sign up and turn in a what do you call it?
It's like an application,
application
for the 44 card.
No, not for 44, just to get into the studios.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
You didn't get a 44. You had to fill out an application to work at the studio.
Yeah.
So we did that, and then, 6 months later, okay, we got an opening, so you go jump in. You got to work 30 days straight.
Right.
And then you're a permit.
Right.
And then you got to work 90 days. It was that whole thing. It took me 2 years before I got my straight 30 days.
Yeah.
And then once I got 30 days and got a permit, never stopped working.
Really?
Yeah.
And so did you work with your dad at all?
I did not work with my dad until way later on. I did one series with him. Obviously I was like a third man.
Right.
Because when I started out as set dressing.
I see.
You do set dressing.
Sure. Right.
And I was a lead man for a little while. And then I jumped over to props. I was third man. And it was a while. A show called Sweet Justice.
Okay.
And he was doing that, and he really wanted me to come over because he was having some other issues. So
sure,
I just worked with him for that a little while, and then that was it. Probably 3 or 4 shows. He had a heart attack, had to leave, so they bumped me up, and I just ran it for probably 4 or 5 episodes until the end of the season.
Right.
He went back on it, and then I left and started doing my own thing,
Right.
Well, did you ever was there ever a question whether you were did you think you were always going to get into the props department?
Yeah.
No, that's funny that you asked, because at the time, that was party time back then. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well,
you're right out of high school,
right.
20 years old, going working a big time in the studios. There was no streaming stuff, all this going on location stuff. It was like, this is big time.
Right.
And so you had to work the system.
Right.
You had to work and get your 3 card, your 2 card, your 1 card.
Right.
And if there were layoffs, you get laid off if you're a 3 card before any of the 2s or 1s.
Yeah. Right.
And so on. So I just did the set dressing. I got hooked up with this set decorator, Jerry Adams of the time, won Emmy Awards and, big time set decorator. And ended up being his lead man.
Nice.
And he, one day, after about a year or something of being his lead man, we were sitting at the Copper Penny over there in Burbank, and he says, "Hey, listen," he goes, "I really don't want to say this, but I have to." I'm like, "What's that, Jerry?" He goes, "I think it's the time." And I said, "Okay." He says, "At this point in your career, I think you need to make a decision." I said, "Okay." He goes, "You've got a job with me forever. Until I retire, you will be my lead man. There's no ifs, ands, or buts."
Yeah.
He goes, "But you have these tendencies to be a prop man."
Interesting.
He goes, "But so right now you need to make a decision.
Right.
Do you want to go work props, follow your father's footsteps, or stay over here and be a lead man? I'm good with either way. Wow. But you need to make that decision." I'm like, whoa.
Wow, what a stand-up guy.
All right, cool. Thanks, Jerry. Yeah. So it just, I went on a couple weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks went by, and lo and behold, out of nowhere, this guy who my dad used to do Clint Eastwood shows with this guy, Eddie Iona.
Okay, right.
Okay, in the 70s. He did all the, whatever, Dirty Harry, Magnum Force, all those shows. My dad was his assistant, Eddie's assistant. Well,
I see.
Eddie was a very mean man to work with.
Let's just you did a few shows with him.
Yeah, he was very difficult.
Yeah.
Wow.
But for obvious reasons, in the business back then, you had to be on top of your game.
Yeah.
You're not working.
Right,
Right. And
did you work with him?
Mm-hmm. Well, that was the whole thing. Is out of nowhere, I'm on the Warner Brothers lot, being the lead man for Jerry, and I see the car pull in, and the guy rolls down his window. Hey, kid, come here. I go walking over. Hey, Eddie, what's up? Because I kind of knew him from when I was a kid and stuff. We'd go up to visit him on location with my dad. He goes, "Hey, you want a job?" I'm all, well, I don't know. What is it? He goes, "It doesn't matter. You want a job?" I said, "Well, when do I start?" And he goes, "Monday." And it was like Wednesday.
Wow.
I'm like, "Oh, well, I don't know. Can I let you know later today or something?" So I went back over to the office, saw Jerry. I say, "Hey, Jerry, you're never going to believe this. Eddie." He goes,
he already called me.
He said, "He already called me. You have a nice day." He goes, "And I'll see you when you're around town,
Wow.
It never looked back.
Yeah.
Wow.
So then from there, it was props,
Yeah.
Right.
So what made him difficult to work with if you worked with him for a little while?
Oh, that dude, just difficult. I mean, when you say the word asshole,
right?
This dude was an asshole. He was mean to people. He was not nice to people.
And is it just in the sense of like what you were doing? I mean, because you went in, sounded like you were green as far as the props world goes. So any little mistake you're going to make, he's going to let you know.
Correct.
So he just expected you to know stuff.
Yeah, he expected it. And, he had the reputation for firing people right and left.
Right.
It was just like, no, you're done, out. You're done, out. That type of thing. So I was like, this guy, I got to think about this, But so he was that kind of person. I think that because my dad had worked with him and he got along with my dad very well.
Right.
They had a great relationship. The only reason they stopped working is my dad just started doing TV shows on his own.
Right.
Bailed out, So I think because of that, he kind of felt like he was taking me under his wing.
Sure.
Hey, kid, come on, let's go do this.
Respect for your dad, too.
Right.
He wasn't going to just kick you to the curb.
Yeah. So I learned how to do things his way.
Right.
His way or the highway, right?
Yeah.
You listen to the man, you do what he says, you're gold.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
When you just try to screw up or whatever, do something on your own,
right?
Yeah, it's not going to work.
Sure.
So
you learned a lot from him.
Oh yeah, and he was at the time he was known as probably the top prop master in the business. There were probably 2 or 3 of them, of the big time guys.
Sure.
He was one of them because he put it all on the line when it comes to making props and doing his thing for Clint. Clint wouldn't have had him if he didn't. Clint wouldn't have had me if I didn't do that.
Right.
Yeah, totally.
You're kicked to the curb,
Yeah.
So it was a very big learning curve to deal with, but it pays off.
Right.
It paid off because he really showed and taught you how to do the business of props.
Right.
Not just be a prop guy. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, do you remember what he said? What were some of the key things that you learned from him that made you realize that it wasn't just, slinging props on set?
Pay attention, kid.
Right.
Pay attention.
Yeah.
That's basically that was the gist of it.
Man, that's like the mantra, isn't it?
100% of the time. It's not
right.
It's not over here yapping with the costumers or over there.
Amen.
No,
seriously.
You're on set. That's it. You're paying attention to every single take.
Right.
You're just as good as a camera person. You know what I mean? Standing right next to that camera.
Yep.
All day long. So there was a lot of little things, and he'd teach you, to pay attention to all the little ultra details. This, I mean, we did Unforgiven, right?
Right. And I see that. That was your first
That was my second one with him.
Okay.
I did, what was that?
Memories of an Invisible Man?
Yeah, Chevy Chase movie, right?
Oh, yeah, right. John Carpenter.
John Carpenter, right.
Nice.
I did that and then went on with the Unforgiven. But I'm sitting out on this truck, getting ready, prepping, and he's got, I don't know, 50, 60 cartridge belts, right? For the Cowboys.
Right.
Every one of them's got to be filled with 45s, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm out there polishing, hand polishing.
Wow.
Now,
Nice.
hold on. We could easily, and they offered up, hey, we got polishers, guys. We could put these in the thing and polish them. And he goes, no. He's going to polish the bullets.
Nice.
Thousands of freaking 45s. I'm out there every day, 10 hours a day, polishing bullets by hand, get them nice and shiny. What's he do? He says, now load up the belts. And I went, oh, that's going in leather. We've got 2 weeks before we start shooting. They're going to start turning green.
Right.
Because the chemical or whatever.
The oxidation.
Yeah, the oxidation starts happening. And I was like, hey, Eddie, you think that's a good idea? Should I put these in? Should I put them in the belt? Because they're going to turn. I told you to put them in the belt. Put them in the belts. Okay.
Put them in the belt.
Loaded them all up. Sure enough, you get up there, up in Canada. We're out Calgary, Canada, and there they are, all green. What the hell's the matter with these bullets? What the hell did you do? I'm like, oh, no, really?
Can't win.
Can't win. So what happens there? I am. I got my third guy. Had a local guy up there, fortunately, and the two of us sat there, polished another 5,000 bullets or whatever until we're all nice and shiny again. So it was a constant thing, but it was just the whole idea of, if I say it, you do it.
Right. Right.
And the story, and as prop masters, you guys know that, you get these assistants, they want to do their own thing. They want to go their own way.
Right.
You've done it before. You've been there. You know what's going on.
Right.
They've been an assistant for a couple years. Sure. They know what's going on, but they don't really know what's, the reasons that you've had meetings with a producer and a director and, everybody else involved. They don't know that.
Right.
So you tell them to do something, you expect it to get done.
Sure.
Know?
I mean, I get that. That's definitely old school, and there's a lot to be said for, having one person who's, the last word on everything. I always try to to give my assistants an opportunity to participate. But having said that, there's often times where then they're questioning you in a moment where you're like, no, you just need to do this thing. Yeah. It's like, yeah, but, and it's like, no but right now, just freaking do it, okay? Because we need to move forward. So it's kind of like finding that sweet spot, because you have to be in charge, and it has to be a single voice a lot of times, so for me personally, that's always been a struggle in my career, because I always hired my friends, I like to have, my assistants were like my guys I hung out with and shit, and I don't want to be like this, iron fist. But I could say that a lot of times in my career, I just had people feel like that then they could take advantage.
Right.
And
because I grew up with that, I got taught that way.
Sure.
I was definitely now I'm the prop master. I'm going to be the hard ass,
Right.
But I didn't want to be that guy.
Right.
Right. It's like we all learn as assistants or as a prop master. Okay, I'm going to go work for Trudel, on this show.
Yeah.
And I'm going to watch how he does things. Mm-hmm. And you know what? I like the way he did that. I'll take that with me.
Right.
But you know what? The rest of the time, what a knucklehead. I'm not going to do that. You know what I mean? Right? So you take some and you leave 100%.
Some.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
We all know that.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Chris, you know the saying.
Yeah,
for
sure.
I'm going to get two things out of you as a prop master, and the rest of it, I'm going to say, okay, I'm not going to do it that way.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
So that's how we are now, all of us.
Sure.
We got to pick and choose, and
and
we got to treat our people that way, right?
Yeah.
And I've always tried to treat my people really well, and I do.
Yeah.
But I've also been that dude where I'm riding right down your ass. You better,
the first couple prop masters I came up under were really big hard asses, and I was but by the time I think I met Pola and I started working on Pola, I was like, oh, you don't need to be an ass to be a prop master. I was like, this is great. But that being said, was like what you're saying, I took a lot, like that first prop master I started working for, like her breakdowns were next level, and I still use the same kind of format today because it's like the Bible. If I give this to somebody, as long as you have everything that's on that list on set, you're going to be fine on the day.
Right.
If you forgot something, it's because you didn't read this list. You know, right. And that's something that I take with me to today. I learned from that prop master. So I agree with you.
It's a big part of this learning curve that I think assistants don't. In today's world, I don't think they realize that.
Right.
And that's why I kind of would love to see the Prop Masters Guild do something with these people and do that. I saw something a few weeks ago about the mentorship. You know?
Yep.
I think it should be just a must thing. Our union failed us. You know? They've failed over the years. They don't have mentorships. They don't have anything that does that. And I think that, you know, even though the kids nowadays are way out of our league as far as how we see things differently than they do, but they're still teachable.
100%.
You know what I mean? And I think if they want to learn, we as old guys, you know, not so old guys, right? But you know what you're doing.
Right.
They can learn something from us, and they can also leave the rest behind. You know what I mean? We have something to offer them that is going to take them to the next level.
Right.
Regardless.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and again, that was always the way people learned. It was the journeyman and then the apprentice.
Right.
That was the way people learned. There was no school. Nobody went to school for props. Okay, the school was like what you did. School of Hard Knocks. You go in and you get tossed around and you polish 10,000 bullets.
Right.
Okay, and you learn the craft. And now, that's gone away in the past 5-10 years, maybe somewhere in there.
Maybe 15.
But again, it's also because there's so much more content that they're bringing people out of nowhere and becoming prop masters without any real training with a prop master.
Right.
And then there's this big gap that's missing. Like you said, there's no mentorship program. There's no training. That's one of the things that the PMG is working on diligently right now. And I don't know if I can say this right now, and if I can't, Mike, you'll cut it out later. But we're actually meeting with 44 to initiate a Props 101 class.
That's fantastic. I hope it happens.
And this mentorship program that we're trying to start is also we're hoping to get support and in-depth with 44 also. But that goes out, like he just mentioned a few weeks ago, that email going out. I mean, this is to everybody listening to this, because I know, a lot of people that I would have loved to have as a mentor listens to this show. We can only do as much as you're willing to help. So if you can be a mentor, help us. Please let us know. Like, that email went out to say, are you willing to be a mentor? If you have a show right now, that's where we can hook it up and start to mentor some of the new people trying to get into this industry. So reach out to us, let us know so we can get that going.
Absolutely. And we're, again, this is what one of the core principles that we've been talking about in the education committee since we started the guild, is this 101 class where we can bring in people like you and Ellen Freund, who expressed that she wants to teach as well, and pick and choose like different parts. As you know, it's so extensive, the knowledge of property masters, and prop assistants too.
My assistants are like, I would do that in a heartbeat, just because it will show me how a different prop master works.
100%. It's gold. That information is gold.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that, as we get this thing off the ground, we can pull guys like you and people who have retired, Doug Fox and all these people, come in, do one class. It's not a giant commitment. You could do a specific class on, breaking down a script or set etiquette or, all these things that are really important.
There's a lot that needs to be learned on how to deal with producers, UPM, people, actors, above the line.
Yes.
That, assistants have no freaking idea because they haven't been put in that position. And it's hard for us to teach them on the set because,
got to get the job done.
We got to get the job done. We're running. I'm not going to be a teacher to you on what's going on above the line. When I go in these offices, you'll hear what I say.
Right.
You might go to a production meeting with me or something, but you're not going to learn.
Right.
So for an old retired guy like myself, or I don't know if Ellen's still retired, if she retired or not.
She's on the edge.
Forced retirement.
Yeah, forced retirement.
I mean, I love that girl. She's been a fantastic
amazing
lady since I've ever met her, and I hold high regards for her. If she could, teach some stuff, if Hope Parrish came out and she was a teacher, I mean, there's a lot of people out there, Doug Fox, you said, that can come out and teach these people 4 or 5 different things, they'll learn. And I think we'll gain a lot more respect with producers.
Absolutely.
In the long run, and maybe raise your pay and
get on a better show.
Yeah. And just so many different things,
And keep the craft elevated.
Right.
Because that's the thing. I mean, that's what I'm afraid of is that, because again, it's not just the property masters, it's the productions that don't require as much, a lot of them. I mean, I'm not saying that they all do because, we also have all the streaming shows that are like feature quality. So they expect that. And if you're going to do those shows, you have to come to that level.
Right.
Of bringing it up. And, again, you said it, man. When you said pay attention, that's the mantra. I want to have a card and put that up in the classroom because that is the number one thing. If you're paying attention, like really paying attention, like the DP's paying attention or like the first AD's paying attention, you're going to go far.
You're not going to miss.
Yeah.
You can't miss.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Like, I just give you examples of that, over the years that I've done it is as far as paying attention goes, comes to rehearsal or what have you, just for an instance on a rehearsal, you show up, you're there, as props, we're there 10 minutes, or I'll show up, half hour, 45 minutes before the first AD even shows up or anybody, and I start laying props out I know what the scene is because I've read it. I've laid all my props out on the desk because I've already been here and scouted, whatever.
Yeah. Right.
I know it. And then, when the first AD comes in, where's props? It's already there, buddy. You don't have to ask for us. Okay, good. So he knows,
Right.
And then you stand off in the corner. Okay, we're going to have a private rehearsal.
Right.
And they always want to kick the prop master out.
They always do.
But when you stand there and pay attention every time, that first AD will start eyeing you.
Yeah.
And he's watching that you're paying attention so that when something comes up in that private rehearsal that they're talking about the director to the actor and the actor says, I think I'd like to do this or I'd like to have one of these. And you already know
on it.
You don't even have to be told. Yep. I know I've got to get a cell phone for this actor. I got to do this, whatever the case may be. You're 2 steps ahead. Now just relieve that first AD of having to go on his radio and say, get props in here. Let's get this. Let's get
and explain the whole thing.
Right. And as you develop that relationship with the first AD, guess what, man?
Yeah, they want you there.
They want you in that rehearsal.
That's right.
It makes you more valuable.
That's right.
And now you pay attention to what's going on, and then you get in with the actors, and now you can bypass the director in half of the stuff because you have a relationship with the actor, because the actor knows you're there, and they'll just come to you and say, hey, Mike, what do you think about this? Or what do you think? Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Then the director just kind of goes, oh, cool, let's do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's that fine line there too. You mentioned that because if an actor comes to you and tells you something, you still got to make sure that the director's on board because he'll shut you down real fast.
Yeah. No, there is that fine line. But my point being is the paying attention part.
Absolutely.
You develop different relationships with those people.
Yes.
That you wouldn't if you were kicked outside. Out there at craft service because they don't want us inside the rehearsal.
Right. Yep. Exactly. Because there's that difference between being a crew member and being part of the creative team.
Correct.
Right. And that's the difference. Okay. And if they realize that, then they're going to want you there.
Yeah.
So again, and that's a part of paying attention. And so being in a rehearsal, I get they don't want people in there. But if you're invisible in the rehearsal, but you're still within earshot, then you're golden.
Right.
And just like you say, because for me, it's if they mention a prop on the radio, you are behind the game.
You're already behind. Exactly.
Okay? So you should know before it happens. If you can. It's not always going to happen way, but if you can, there's
always going to be the time where
Yeah.
You're actually doing your job and doing stuff, and they
Right.
dream up something over there, and you're over there.
Yeah. And now that we have cell phones, you could be in a rehearsal and they could call for something. You could text your assistant and they could come to the door with it.
Oh yeah, no kidding. That has changed life there. Unless you're on a Chris Nolan set, that's not happening.
Or Tarantino.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen.
Nolan has a no cell phone policy too.
Oh yeah, man, it's
That's
no
cool.
cell phone.
I dig it.
No.
Nolan?
Nobody.
Yeah. Jonah Nolan's the same way on like Westworld and Fallout.
Yeah.
Yeah, once upon a time when they said that, I was like, yeah, I don't think so. I'm going to need my phone. And they're like, yeah, well, you're not going to have it. And it was a short trip between realizing how great it is not having that phone on the set.
Yeah. Guess what you get to do?
You pay attention.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing else.
But if you needed to call for something like the sales, do you have to go to you leave it on your trailer?
No, they have Checkpoint Charlie.
Checkpoint Charlie.
Yeah, you come to the front. There's a guy that's literally the PA's whole job is to take your cell phone.
Seriously?
Yeah, they put it in a little drawer with your name on it, and you leave it on. And if like your wife calls you and there's an emergency, they get that, and then they could come and get you and say, hey, you got a call. Or if you need to do something, you just walk to Checkpoint Charlie, get your phone, and walk off set.
Gotcha. So you can grab it and walk off set.
100%.
Yeah, Nolan. Most people would have it offset, in their set carts or whatever,
or on the trailer.
But I'll tell you what, if he's walking around outside offset,
right,
and he sees you on that cell phone, you're gonna get ripped.
Yeah, same with Quentin.
It's just no. Oh man.
He says
what cell phone? No, it's a prop. Look, it's really a fake.
Yeah, QT would say, if I even see that square in your pocket, we're gonna have a problem. I'm like, okay.
All right.
Yeah. So was Tenet the only movie you did with Nolan?
Oh yeah, that's the only one
that was
recent.
That long ago.
Yeah, that was recent too.
Yeah, well, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
2020.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, just before COVID.
So, how did you score that gig then?
How did I get that? I was the last man in.
I see.
All his other guys were working or whatever, and it was. I don't know. I guess they tried to get it. Guillaume does a lot of his shows.
Sure.
A couple guys out there or whatever, and for whatever reason, they just fell behind, and nobody was doing it. So they put out the call. I think Billson might have put my name in for it with the production designer Nathan.
Right.
And so I went over, interviewed, and was done.
Nice.
And it was freaking hell from there.
So did you enjoy your time on that show or
No.
not so much?
No, man.
What the hell's wrong with you?
No way.
So, all right, so
was
that's it.
living
This
hell
is a good way to transition. So what's the fundamental difference between working with somebody like Nolan and working with somebody like Clint Eastwood?
Well, the fundamental is Clint knows how to treat people.
Right.
Yeah.
Nolan doesn't know how to treat people. Now, when I say that,
Sure.
I saw Nolan many a times on a Sunday, out in the middle of some other countries that we're at with his family.
Right.
And off the side, what a nice man.
Right.
Yeah.
Super nice man. Cordial, everything, sit there and talk to you. But when it comes time, you're on the set.
Right.
It's over, man.
Right.
He will eat you alive.
Wow.
Especially in the prop department.
Huh. Interesting.
Why is that?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you if it's just, I don't know.
Well,
Yeah.
isn't it because
ego, if it's just, whatever it is, it's just, he just digs and digs. I didn't let it get to me. It obviously never let him see me.
Of course.
Get it to me,
Right.
But, when I'm sitting here seeing a costume designer that has worked with him on several shows in tears,
Right.
I'm going, this ain't right, man. It's not how you
Yeah.
treat people,
Right.
Several times. It's not just once,
Sure. That's just
And
mode of operation.
You watch how he does things. Great director,
Sure.
Of course.
but you can't be a great director
Right.
and act like that.
I
Right?
agree.
So,
I agree.
While, America sees him as a great director, I agree. He is. He turns out incredible films, you know. But for us on the inside, that's not a great director.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think
he's a good director.
Yeah, we do this for a reason of what we like it. I mean, as somebody who's kind of finishing off going through that right now. It's like, I don't care how good the final product's going to be. If I'm miserable doing it, then it's not worth it to me. Like, I like to have fun with props and do it.
That's the whole idea.
And it's respect.
Yeah. And, Clint's the total opposite. You know, he treats everybody. And I don't care who you are, background actors to crafts, it doesn't matter. He treats every single person that comes on that set with the utmost respect.
Right.
Actors. He doesn't get in their face. He doesn't tell them how to say their lines. He doesn't, change things. Do what you do.
Right.
You're here for a reason. Do what you do. If it's a gaffer and he comes in and he sees the set's lit, he doesn't question the gaffer. Hey,
right.
Nothing. He has full respect and trust of all the people that he has working around him. And guess what? You can have fun, a lot of fun doing it, and it makes, that's why I stuck it out with him for 30 years, It's like,
so for anybody who doesn't know, you've done every single movie that Clinton's directed, right?
No, I missed Mystic River and Mystic River and Gran Torino. I was on. He took some time off in between shows, and I ended up on Terminator Salvation or something that was a year long. So I missed that one, and then I forget what show I was on for the other one.
But you've done what? 20 pictures? I mean,
more than that.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, unbelievable. And that's fantastic.
Well, yeah, that's how you know it. You enjoy it. You keep going back.
Right? Yeah. You enjoy it. You keep going back. Yeah.
Wow. So do you have a favorite Clint Eastwood movie that you've done?
Well, when you say favorite, you could say a favorite this or favorite that. You know how it is when you do a movie, you're all in, you know. And while this one was my favorite for this reason, this was my favorite for that reason. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Invictus over in South Africa doing rugby and going to these rugby games and hanging with all these rugby players.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Yeah,
I mean,
100%.
that was fun, right? That was super above fun, right?
Yeah.
Even cool. But was that my favorite? Yeah, it was favorite for that. But, getting to do Flags of Our Fathers, right?
Right. Or Letters from
Iwo Jima,
I mean, that's
right?
a big war movie.
Right. That was kind of a combination of the two, the same wartime, period, and show, one side to the other. Unbelievable to be able to go into the detail.
Yeah.
And I won't say one thing. I'll tell you guys later.
Okay.
Something I found out about that.
Okay.
But the detail that you go into, I put my heart and soul into that every single thing. I flew to Hawaii and went into some bunkers and stuff to get some actual. I found doing my research and talking to people in the military and all that. I found that they had some bunkers over there that were stored all kinds of old military stuff from World War II.
Wow. And
the commander or whatever over there, he says, come on over. He says, you can have whatever you want.
Seriously?
Seriously. I said, what? He goes, I'm not kidding, man. He goes, you bring whatever you got. Bring a 747. I don't care. He said, you can load it up, whatever you need.
And
so I went to production. I said, hey, I'm going to save thousands of dollars by going to Hawaii. Guess what? I'll be there a week.
Nice.
So
I'm going to be there a week.
Yeah. And I went every single morning. I met this guy at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
And went back and forth from this place with a minivan.
No way.
Right. Yep, loading stuff up all day.
Did you load a boat or?
No, I loaded air containers.
Air containers.
Yep. Wow. Bunch of air containers. And I did it for a week straight. And oh my gosh, authentic stuff.
Right.
It's the real deal. This isn't props. This isn't movie prop stuff.
Right.
Was it like military equipment? Was that tough to fly? Or like
no, because it's it's decommissioned, so to say, and it wasn't when I say military equipment, it wasn't
like
armament
guns.
or anything. No, it was all the medical bandages to the
awesome. Are they still in decent shape?
Oh yeah, the stuff is like brand new. They were stored in these caves, that was below whatever normal degrees.
No sunlight.
Like no sunlight. It was just
amazing.
Original packaging to oh my gosh, it was just unbelievable.
Do you think that was the Clint Eastwood factor that they wanted to help you because it was a Clint Eastwood film?
I would definitely think so. Right. And I will say that over my years, that definitely played a part in getting a lot of prep done, and getting into certain things that most people wouldn't be able to get the right stuff. Right. So,
What kind of prep time does he usually give on those on any of the movies, I guess?
Well, it started out way back. You go to the way back. We used to get like 12, 13, 14 weeks of prep, you know, and then as time goes by and, everybody's pinching a penny. Next thing you know, we're prepping them in 6 weeks, It's like, come on, guys.
Right.
Okay, the little baseball movie Trouble I can do that in 6 weeks, but I can't do this World War II picture in 6 weeks,
sure.
So you get, but they were fair. They were very fair about it, and they would listen to me and say, okay, well, you get 6.5 weeks, and whatever.
Well, I guess if you're cutting a lot of prep time by going to Hawaii and filling a bunch of air containers,
well, for sure. So was the first film you did with him was Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil? As a prop master,
yes,
right?
Yes.
And so, how did that work out? Did Ed finally say, "I'm done," and you stepped up?
Yep, he gave it up. He retired. I think what was it? Absolute Power might have been his last film. I don't remember. I think it was Absolute Power.
Right. And Perfect Crime was
Perfect Crime. I did that one.
Okay,
so right in that area,
so Absolute Power. Yeah, right. Because you're assistant prop master on Absolute Power. There
exactly. So. Yeah, and then, Eddie went in and went to bat and told Clint, hey, I'm done. And you got your prop master right here. Clint says, great, love it.
Nice.
And he had already knew you at that point.
Oh,
clearly.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a relationship already made.
Yeah, totally.
So Space Cowboys, that must have been fun.
Lots of fun.
Yeah.
There you go. So
right?
Here we go with the favorite,
I mean, and the thing about Clint's career is that he's done so many different types of films.
Right.
He's done Space Cowboys, and then he's done $1 Million Baby, and then A Star Is Born. I mean, and J. Edgar. I mean, it's like so many different genres that he dipped in. So you got
it's crazy. I mean, the stuff I've learned over the years in history, the things that I've learned, and it's so amazing. It's just so amazing to be able to learn that. You can't learn that in school. You can't learn that in just reading, focused on one thing.
Right.
So, and that's just been crazy.
Yeah, that's like one of the unsung parts of what we do. Like if you do a movie like J. Edgar, it's like everybody knows who J. Edgar Hoover is. And you might even learn it in school. You might even go to college and learn about J. Edgar Hoover. But you're not going to get the education you're going to get doing research for a movie called J. Edgar, right?
Yeah. So what do? I got J. Edgar, I get to go to the FBI building.
Right.
Back in Quantico.
Wow.
And, wait a minute. We're going to go learn how to make little bugs, for the time period, right? Because they did that. There was some stuff going on in the movie that was happening. And okay, so I go into the Quantico. Me and my assistant got to go with me, and they tell us, okay, we're going to go in this room, but in the meantime, we're going to go by this, this, and this. You're not to look this way or look that way. You look straight ahead and straight ahead only.
Right.
Well, they took us up the stairway, and when they said don't look any way, there was nowhere to look because it was a black hallway. And there was not a door in there, not a window in it.
It's like Get Smart.
You went dead straight ahead, for like 100 yards the length of this building in a black hallway, so you couldn't see anything,
That's funny.
And then they opened this door, and sure enough, here's this little room about the size of this. This guy's got all these little bugs laid out.
Whoa.
Right? I'm like,
he's waiting for
whoa, how bitchin' is this, and he gave me the whole explanation of how this works, how that one works, this is why, and this is where you put it, all that. So I was able to not take those.
I was going to say, I guarantee you he didn't.
I was not able to take any of those pictures. Nope. But,
But you got an education.
I got an education.
And I'm sure those images burnt in your brain.
Oh,
so,
absolutely.
You could run straight to SAT and be like, I know exactly what you're making.
Absolutely. 1,000%. It was like, okay, I'm not forgetting that, and I'm not forgetting that. You know?
Yeah, so, and there's no question about it, right? That's the real deal. It's like some sketchy
And it's, no director is going to be able to say, "Oh, where did this come from?" What? Yeah. No, man, it
came from the pen.
It's the real deal, man.
Yeah,
I made it.
Yeah, the empty hallway.
Like I got there, I got to meet I forget who the head of the FBI was at the time, and a bunch of other people over there, fantastic people. He was just like, oh my gosh, they'd greet you with open arms, and come on in. Oh yeah, oh Clint, yeah, okay, yeah. But going back to Space Cowboys, I'm one of 7 people that gets to go up on the gantry arm when the guys load into the space shuttle.
Where they really?
Yeah, I mean, you're standing up there looking out over the Everglades and all that. You just go, oh my gosh, are you kidding me?
You were shot that at Cape Canaveral?
Oh, yeah. When we were down there, I was like, how bitching is this? Beautiful. Dude. Now my kid's a rocket scientist, and he gets to go down there and
go
to launch pads for United Launch Alliance. Wow. So kind of full circle.
Yeah, no cool. way.
Like he's doing the real thing.
I was going to say, did he fake stuff? Did he come out back then?
Did he come out? No, I don't think he did.
Not on that one.
He was too young at that time. He was, still back in school or whatever.
Yeah.
Wow.
But, super cool stuff, right?
So, segue. How many kids do you have?
2.
And are either any of them involved in this?
Nope. He went to.
No, they're a rocket scientist.
Right. Obviously, the rocket scientist.
Yeah. No. I honestly kind of told him, listen, the opportunity's here.
Right.
You guys want to get in this business, it'll happen.
Right.
It's a done deal.
Right.
You guys want to go to college, you learn something else and go be your own person, go for it. Mm-hmm. Whatever it is you want. Well, he saw the movie. What was that rocket movie? Little kid, rocket, shooting up the rocket. I forget the name of it.
Rocketeer? Not that one.
Not Rocketeer. It was about a
Bottle Rocket.
Something, not Bottle Rocket.
No?
Dang. I don't know.
Anyway.
Whatever it was, it clicked. That kid, he was going to be a rocket man from day one when he was a little kid and grew up. And
like the real deal.
Like the real deal. So he went to my brother-in-law was a professor up at Berkeley. Uh-huh. So he went and interned up there for a couple summers with him.
Right.
And then as he went through college, right, and then ended up going off to ULA, getting an internship there, and he's been there for 8 years.
Wow, that's fantastic.
So my daughter, she went to college and decided she's going to go travel the world.
Nice. When
we were doing Tenet, so she went out and did a few things and met some nice French boy, and there it is. Love story's over. I'm going to a wedding in France next year.
Nice. So she moved to France. I love that.
She's been there for 4 years, I think.
And how about your wife? Is she was she in the industry?
No, she's a librarian at the local school, and she loves it and just stays there doing her thing. It's fantastic.
Awesome. I love that. So, Space Cowboys, Marcia Gay Harden was in that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sweetheart.
Yeah, she's a good friend of mine. So.
Oh, yeah, good.
I'm glad you got a chance to work with her.
Yeah, she was really...
She's a pro.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Total pro.
Right.
Not an issue.
Right. How about Robin Williams, a 1 hour photo? How was that?
Oh, that was fun.
That was a kind of
that was another horror director.
Oh, really?
Oh,
I don't know.
Man.
I don't remember. I don't know who that was.
Yeah,
but
I don't want to.
It doesn't matter.
But Robin, I mean, come on. The first day of shooting to the last day of shooting, you spend an hour a day just standing there laughing at.
Oh, I'm sure.
The dude, he could turn it on, turn it off.
Yeah.
And I mean, acting or not acting. You know, is he Robin Williams or is he the actor?
Character.
You know, the character. And it's like, when he's Robin Williams, he's Mr. Funny Man, just going to town. But when he was that character, that was a different character.
It's amazing when they can do that.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, a lot of fun there. We had a good time on it.
Nice. But a lot of photographs, right? Oof. You were slinging photos.
That was, I think, that was 3 full days of shooting still photos, and probably 3 to 4 weeks of between director and production designer going through, picking all the photos at these all the way to the last minute.
I'm sure.
You know how that is.
Yeah,
you're
crazy.
sweating. No, I gotta have this, man. I gotta build this wall, and I gotta be able to tear it down and put it back up and do this and do that. And you guys are sitting here, no, I don't know if I like that picture.
Right.
Nobody's going to see that picture. Right. It's over here on the top
just
right.
Like the other one. Yeah. It's looking.
Were these still shoots like a second unit type of thing?
Oh, yeah.
Too, of course.
Oh, absolutely.
Were you running it almost?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No, the production designer, he's gone. He had, other stuff to do, and I'm just there with the photographer and the actors, and art director, I think, was there, doing his thing. But it was.
Yeah, that's nuts. I mean, that was like one of those movies where I was like, I'm glad I wasn't the prop master on that show.
Oh yeah, first day, literally first scene. This director, eyeglasses, Robin Williams, part of his character.
Right,
got to have them. Right. I brought the director. Forget Robin because he wasn't even in play yet. As far as timing, it was just the director. I brought him 400 pair of eyeglasses to eliminate from.
Right.
He got it whittled down to about 100 pair to show Robin. I told him a couple times. I said, Robin's a professional. I don't know that he's going to want to look at 100 pair of glasses. If we could get this down to 30 or 40.
Right.
Max. It would really help. And he goes, yeah, well, I really want to give him the options.
Hey.
It's okay. However you want to do it, man, it's fine. I'll have him there on the day. And long story short, you cut to the first day of shooting. Now, this is literally getting the final word from the director about the glasses. Not Robin. Robin was okay with 10 different pair.
Right.
Any one of those is fine with me. I like those. I like these. I like those,
Sure.
3 days before shooting. Got to be AR coded. Got to have 10 pair of them, the whole thing. Puts the glasses on. Comes out. Got his whole uniform, his costume on. He's ready to go. Director looks at him. Props, get over here. Whoa, hey, what's up, He goes, these aren't the right glasses. And I'm like, whoa, this is what we chose,
Right.
No, they're not. And he starts screaming. He's going off. And I have no idea why.
Right.
I looked at a producer, and the producer looks at me, and he goes, what's going on? And I said, I don't know. You'd have to ask him.
Right.
I say, he thinks these are the wrong glasses, and Robin knows they're right. Robin loves them. He's fine, but he don't want these glasses. So, long story short, again, this gets to, okay, we're not shooting this.
Right.
We're shut down until I find out and get the right eyeglasses for Robin Williams. The producer, now you got all the producers, you got the director,
they're all rolling.
Everybody's what? I'm just standing there. You guys tell me what to do, man. Just tell me what to do. Okay, go back and get these and get the last 10 pair that we had. Okay, no problem. I book it over to. I think I was getting them from Michael.
Oh, Michael, yeah.
At the Celebrity Eyeworks.
Celebrity
right?
Eyeworks, that's it.
Get there, get back. They're already shooting.
With the original
with the original pair of glasses. It was the right ones. It was this dude, he's just being whatever.
He wasn't ready or something.
Yeah, So, it was just, those are the things that we got to deal with. Though,
100%.
Usually with those personal props, it is the actor. I mean, depending on what it is, right? If you have a picky actor coming up or that's known to be picky.
Right.
Would you say flooding with options is the way to go?
Absolutely. You don't want to over flood it.
No.
Right? You got to put that time into, okay, for me, how I go, just say, let's just use eyeglasses or sunglasses.
Or watches,
as a sample, right? You look at what they've worn in the last 4 or 5 movies. Right?
Yep.
You look at what they wear in their personal life.
Yep.
You got all these paparazzi pictures of every actor out there, right? So you can look through, what are they wearing in the magazine? What, you find out and kind of get an idea of the style that looks good on them.
Right.
So you can pull, a dozen pair, 15 pair, if you want to go off, you can get 2 dozen, you know.
Right.
And say, okay,
Sure.
here, flood the market, you know. And usually you're pretty darn close, you know.
Absolutely.
But you're right, because there are some of those actors out there who you got 2 dozen sitting in front of them. They're going, oh, I don't like any of these.
What else you got?
know? What else? Yeah. What
else you got?
Oh, I'll be right back. I'm going to the truck, man.
Well, I also I've found out over time too that a lot of times you can rely heavily on whoever your person is. You know, like if it's Celebrity Works, which is gone, or Russ Campbell, or
Gimme
Props, or you know, that you send them the picture of the actor, whoever it is, and they are good at picking frames.
Right.
For people's faces.
Yeah. Paula will always be like, oh, there's only a specific type of glasses that will fit their face. Oh, I got a whole tray. Let me get them together.
Right.
It's like, okay, great.
Yeah, no, you're right. And they know better.
Sure.
They've been doing it. They've done every actor in Hollywood 50 times, you know, so they already know the flow of it. And, you know.
And if it's somebody big, they probably already did it before. So. Yeah. That's cool. I kind of get the feelings for some of your credits that you've done a lot of pilots, but then not the series. Did you do the pilot for CSI?
I did CSI Miami.
Crime Scene Investigation?
Yeah. I worked on CSI with Bobby Good.
Okay.
And then they broke off to do CSI Miami. I did the pilot and then the first season of that.
I see. And how about Desperate Housewives? Did you do that pilot?
Yeah, did the pilot for that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was fun. that was my first kind of not so action movie,
right?
So to
like
say.
A bunch of talking heads, a bunch of women,
it
family.
was fun though.
Yeah, right. And you get to establish the look. I mean, I would think because I'm always the guy who doesn't do the pilot, then I do the series.
Oh, gotcha.
You know, so and you inherit stuff when you are doing that. So it must be interesting to like see a show like Desperate Housewives and know that you established a lot of that, even though you didn't do the whole series.
Yeah, Bosch, I did that
one.
Yeah,
you did Bosch, right?
Cool.
Lincoln Lawyer.
Lincoln Lawyer, yeah. I don't even know. I can't even tell you how many of those shows I did.
That's crazy.
Is it just the stuff that like there was just a perfect amount of time open before the next Clint movie, or
right? Well, you know, you go back like what I'm talking about back in the days, right, of the 80s, 90s, or whatever. You do they had a very distinct timing, right? Television series. There was no computer shows. There was none of that. No streaming. There was, HBO. None of those existed. It was network, right? Channel 2, 4, 7, 11 or whatever, right? And so you either worked on a TV series for CBS, NBC, or whatever, and they would run a full 22 or 24. Right. I think it was 22
to 24,
22 episodes, and you would start it in July or August, and you'd finish in February or March.
Right.
Those series, right? And then from March till April or May,
pilot season.
That was pilot season,
right?
So if you didn't do TV and you were doing features, you would do feature film. Features kind of started January and or July, right? Because they take a lot longer to prep and wrap and all that. So somehow I fortunately was able to get it when I was doing feature films, get into a rhythm to where I would be off in April or May, and I'd get to do one or two pilots. You know, sometimes 3.
Yeah,
and then you jump back on your feature. You know, it starts up in August or whatever. Right. You know, so I was very, very blessed to have that happen.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't think they do much pilots anymore.
No, they don't. But they used to do like 30 or 40 pilots a season.
Oh yeah,
easy.
Yeah. A good amount of pilots would be 34. I remember at one point they when it was really busy, there was like 55 pilots being done.
Holy crap!
In that little 2 to 3 month period, and people were just like going off the charts. You know, wow, this is crazy, but cool because everybody's working.
Yeah, I always wanted to see if there's some way that, because so many pilots don't get picked up. Right. They do the pilot and then they just go away, and it's like, and I've done a couple.
Oh, I've done a few of those.
Yeah, it's like. They're sitting somewhere.
Yeah.
Somebody should create a network or something where you just show all these pilots that didn't get picked up.
The red lit pilots.
Right. That's a great idea. It's a great idea, and you know what? One or two of those might get picked up.
That's what I mean. They might take off. Probably more.
Please, I did a couple that I thought were great. It had a lot of potential, and because a lot of times it's just politics that they don't get picked up.
Yeah.
Okay, so who knows?
Yeah, or it's the studios just need to burn some money. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
That was always,
there's always that.
Yeah, there was always that thought,
That's for sure. Hey, so talk about Straight Out of Compton, man. How'd you end up on that show?
Okay, there's fun.
Right? You did Straight Out of Oh, my God.
Yeah, that was badass. That was a lot of fun. F. Gary Gray, again, I think they pushed and whatever reason they pushed off on hiring a prop man.
Okay.
They're trying to pinch pennies. They're trying to save money every which way they can. And they wait till the last minute, and
on that movie?
Yeah, believe it or not.
It's a huge movie.
I had, I think, 5 weeks to prep that.
Wow.
And it was a huge movie,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And they wanted
Gary
wanted all that
movie.
stuff live, and it's all has to be period correct,
Right,
Yeah.
I get these turntables and set up this whole setup in Dre's bedroom, and guess who shows up on the day?
Dre?
Yeah.
I'm like,
that's not my turntable.
what do I do? Shit. He walks in his room, and, obviously the set decorator did a fantastic job decorating this place. But the first thing he did is he walked right up to that setup that I had sitting there, and he goes, "Oh, my God, dude, this is it."
Nice.
And I'm like, this is it.
Yeah,
what more can you ask for, man? That's brilliant.
So, it's those things.
Sure.
But I was, I'm driving all over East LA, down
I'm talking about
everywhere to pick all this stuff up,
How dicey was that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For real.
Right? I mean, did you get it? I mean, I've heard stories from the shoot that
there was the Suge Knight killed people on that set.
Well, yes and no. That actually happened on an added scene or a reshoot kind of thing that F. Gary did on the side probably a month after
got it.
Shooting ended. They went down and were doing it. That was a whole different deal.
Yeah, totally.
But I will say, not our first day of shooting, but it might have been first week of shooting or something. We were down in Compton.
Yeah,
there
shooting
you
blanks,
go, man.
right?
Jeff Angelo, your buddy, he's pushing the set cart going towards set. Myself, we're unloading. We're props. We're there first.
Sure,
we're way before all these other people.
Right.
So we pull up to I forget what the streets are, but it's down. It was right by their down courthouse. It was right by the courthouse in Compton. And pull the stake bed up there, and we're pushing the carts probably 200 yards down to wherever the set was that we were shooting on that day. I'm walking back towards the truck. I just dropped off the chair rack. I'm walking back towards the truck. Angelo's got a cart, and he's coming off the tailgate of the truck, 50 yards away from him. Pop, pop, pop.
No
I'm
way.
Like, whoa, what was that? I see Angelo ducking and screaming, like, what the fuck? Right? Well, next thing you know, I'm kind of now picking up my pace going towards him, like, what? And here comes this dude running down the street holding his side.
Oh, no. Somebody
just did a drive-by on this dude.
Wow.
Well, what happened? One of the bullets, Angelo, he said, whizzing, right by his head.
Yike!
It was all right there.
Day
like,
one.
Holy day! What the hell is this shit, man? And we just went on shooting. The sheriffs.
They just went on shooting.
Yeah, the sheriffs blocked off the streets there. Said you guys can't come in this way. So now production got to come in from a different side.
Wow.
They did their investigation. They did their thing. Moved on, and we just kept on shooting like nothing happened. Like,
so did you have crazy, neighborhood liaisons for when you were shooting?
Absolutely. Yeah. Right? Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, you have to. Right?
Right. You don't just roll in.
No, there was a lot of that liaison stuff going on.
I would imagine.
And Bone, I don't know if you've ever worked. I've done a couple shows with this guy Bone, and he's a liaison.
Okay.
Right? He knows everybody in all of that area.
Right.
He knows the ins and in fact, he's one of the ones got run over by Suge Knight.
Oh, really?
Wow. Yeah. He's the one that lived.
Oh.
To tell the story. The other guy didn't, right?
Yeah.
But Bone, anyways, like I said, done a couple shows with him. He knows everybody.
Right.
So he goes in ahead of time, gets other liaison. It's a movie business. You're paying for what you're using there. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
And they take care of it. They take care of business the way it's supposed to be, and it works. Works for everybody.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah, but it was fun. What a great show.
Sure, right?
Oh, fantastic.
Really good
Are you
movie.
a music fan? Are you into rap at all?
I love music. There's two things in my life that makes me happy: music and colors.
Wow.
Right? When I say colors,
cool.
like,
yeah,
cool custom colors, paint paint jobs on cars or something, vibrant colors. I don't know what it was, Hot Wheels when I was a kid or something. I don't know. But, but music is so happening. And that goes into, Lady Gaga singing on.
Yeah, I was going to say, and then The Star is Born, that must have been like beautiful.
But go back to the Straight Out of Compton, setting up all those DJ, setups for, the bowling alley and all the different venues that they did.
I was going to say, the big venues and stuff.
So much fun. Just so much fun. You just get into it. You're rocking with them, because it's all live,
Right.
We were shooting all, actually we had playback on a lot of it, but it still was playing through our speaker systems and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
So, that was definitely cool.
I'll bet. Was that a long shoot?
It was fairly long. It was probably a 10-week shoot, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that seems like it would be a lot of fun.
All in
so
time.
then to do A Star is Born, I mean, when that you got that call, you must have been really excited.
Oh, yeah. It was, well, no.
No?
At first it was like, wait a minute, man. Really? Clint? You're gonna do remake A Star is Born? What is this?
But he killed it, man. It's such a good movie.
And then you learn, okay, Bradley Cooper's gonna be all right. He's cool. He's a good actor, from Vegas shows, whatever the heck that is. And then you get, Lady Gaga's in there. Oh, actually, I like her music.
Right.
How cool is that? Okay, that's cool. And he wanted everything.
Brad, yeah.
Clint together wanted everything. Well, Clint wasn't really there. This was a Bradley show.
Right. That's right. That's right.
Clint was the producer on it? Is that
No, actually,
he wasn't involved at all.
Yeah, this wasn't nothing to do with Clint. I don't know why that slide on.
That was me.
Yeah, either way. But Bradley wanted everything live.
Yeah,
100% live, and every single piece of music you see on that show was recorded live.
Right,
which means
all the
every instrument that I had to be the real deal live. Every pedal on the floor,
tuned,
everything. So fortunately, we had a good roadie guy.
I was gonna say, how many technicians did you bring out for that?
Well, we hired one. Bradley kind of put it in my court and says, "Hey, we need to have somebody good. There's a couple guys that we're going to interview." He goes, "But I want you to be the one that tells me
which one
we want to go with, because you're the one that has to interface with these guys 100%.
That's cool.
Right.
So again, the respect for Bradley, knowing, or putting the respect to me to do it, which is fantastic. We already kind of had a relationship
American Sniper,
which was fantastic. Bradley, the best.
Yeah, I know. I worked with him on Alias years ago.
Alias, right. Way back.
Way back before anybody knew who he was. So.
Yeah, but anyways, so what a fantastic show,
right?
Just sit there and listen, going down to Coachella and setting up all the stages in Coachella from one to the other,
right?
On the weekends, because it was in between,
right?
Or not on the weekends, during the week.
I see.
The weekends they had it for the Coachella shows.
Oh,
so
really?
we were using their audiences.
So we were using their stages, while it was in between during the week for our stages, and they brought in background people.
Yeah,
5,000, 10,000 people,
Were they background hired by the show, or were they part of Coachella?
No, from the show.
I see.
Yeah, just background from.
That's a lot of background.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Did you have to prop up the background at all?
A little bit,
just in the front?
Wrist IDs and all that stuff. No, we did everybody. You do it.
That's huge.
I just go for it all. I'm all in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't. Going back to, do you do it all or don't you,
Right.
I learned one thing from the old Eddie Iona,
Right.
When you think that you can get by with just putting wristbands on these 500 people because they're up front.
Right.
And then all of a sudden that AD that's sitting over there, that PA sends one of these people that's in the back to do a pass by in the front.
Right.
And they don't have a wristband on. well, you just screwed up, right?
Right.
So it's that whole thing. Where do you draw the line?
Yeah.
Right? No, everybody gets everything all the time.
Right.
And I've just been a firm believer of that.
Yeah.
Every person has a problem. You know, we know in real life that half the people walking down the street aren't carrying a freaking grocery bag. Mm-hmm. We know that. They're not carrying a briefcase. Some people actually walk to work with nothing, you know?
Right.
Especially nowadays. It's a cell phone in their pocket. But how do you know that that's going to be the person that makes it on screen with the ADs sending other people or whatever? So if you give everybody something,
right,
then it's going to show up.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because this is something that we haven't talked about on this podcast that much, and I think it's super important, and that is background.
Right.
Okay, so talk to me about, your philosophy. You just express your philosophy about background, but do you have somebody in your team that you designate as doing background, or how do you handle? Yeah,
I mean, every show's different. You got different people that are. You got to look at your team,
right?
Who's capable of doing what? I always have my main assistant. That's the one that's going to be right next to me running set. I run the set,
right?
I've always been number one on the set. I'm not the prep guy that just goes and runs and features. Here's your stuff, guys. I'll see you later. It's not how I operate, right? So I'm there, but I've got my assistant who I make really kind of run the set, even though I'm standing there telling them what to do. Hey, go do. And they look at me, really, you fucker, go away. Right?
I hear you.
It's that type of thing. So sometimes I'll go do background.
Okay.
Cool. If it's I know Kevin or whatever, he's got the set. I'm good. I'm gonna go do background so I can make sure Angelo's not over there screwing it up. Right. Anybody seen Angelo? Yeah, last I see was bullshit with some chick down the hallway.
Never.
What are you talking about, man? Come on.
So you mean run the set? You mean you run all of it, not just the heroes?
All of it.
It means you check in, make sure the heroes are good. You run the background, make sure the background's good.
Yeah. No,
maybe make sure the truck has the right stuff in the thing. You're
I
just
do that
literally
too.
Running just all around.
Nonstop.
I like
because that's a huge part of prep, especially when you're doing period. You have to think about all that background that you're going to have to put props in their hands.
And prep is, obviously prep is 90% of this business, man. If you prep it right, you can stand there and run the set all day long. Because you've got, as you said earlier, all the options. Yeah. They're all there, man.
Yeah.
All the what ifs, all the oh shits, I've got them. They're on the truck because I thought about it.
Right.
Yeah,
and it's an opportunity sometimes. I look at it as, because background, anybody could put a coffee cup in their hand and give them a newspaper, not anymore a newspaper, but, a briefcase or something. But I want people to be creative with the background because there's so much fun that you could have. Because I remember the last time I was in New York City, New York City is such a vibrant town and everything's so compact that people are doing all kinds of crazy shit. There's guys walking down the street with a TV in their hands, right?
True story.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. And then I walk by and there's somebody's has this IKEA shelf and they're building it on the sidewalk because there's not enough room in their apartment. Yeah. Okay, so they build it on the sidewalk and then bring it upstairs. I'm like, that's background, baby.
And that's how you got to think about these things in the areas we go to, right? And there's been plenty of times where, I'll tell my assistant, oh, no, man, just take that bicycle and take the front wheel off.
Right. Yeah.
What? I'm all, yeah, man, make the dude push it through with no front wheel. He's all, you got to be kidding me. I said, no, I'm not kidding, man.
I love it.
And he's, he got a background guy. He's laughing as he's doing it, having fun. But, it adds that little bit of reality to it.
And you're not even conscious of it most of the time.
Right.
Okay.
No, I love being like, give that person a boot and crutches.
Right.
Yeah. Put them in a wheelchair.
Exactly. There's so many opportunities for fun.
There is. And that's the fun part, right? It's those days where, okay, this is fun, let's do it,
I love it. So how about Argo? That was a good film. I mean, how was
Argo
it working with
good.
Ben?
Yeah, well, there again, Ben was Ben. He's not a nice man when it comes to directing.
Right.
Get him off the side.
That was his first time directing, wasn't it?
Was it his first?
I don't think so.
No.
Didn't he direct?
I think he might have done something before.
I think he didn't. He didn't direct the Academy Award winning one that I'm blanking.
Well, that was Argo.
No, not Argo.
Just not for him.
I mean, the Robin Williams, the Matt Damon one. It's the original one.
Good Will Hunting?
Yeah, he didn't do that.
Oh, yeah. No, he didn't.
They wrote that.
He wrote that.
Right. Yeah, no, he was difficult. He wanted to be fired 50 times, you know.
Seriously?
Right. Oh, yeah, hell yeah, man. How can we fire this guy? This guy, you know, whatever, the producers. Just go direct, man. We're not firing him. He's not going anywhere, you know. You know, it's just...
Yeah, your career's better than his, sorry.
He
no, I hear you. I know that about him, so...
I got a good one.
I just worked with him.
I'm going to give you one.
Yeah, bring it. I love stories.
He gave me such a hard time on Argo, right? He gave me it was like nonstop. I gave him everything he asked for plus more.
Right.
I mean, obviously, you look at the show, you can tell that the stuff was right.
Yeah, exactly.
It fit. It was exactly as it should be.
Right.
So he had no excuse for treating me the way he treated me, right? So then I go, the next show I get, you know, his director wanted me to do it. It's down in Puerto Rico, Justin Timberlake's show. And next thing you know, we're down there in Puerto Rico prepping, and the director says, Mikey, we got Ben Affleck. He's going to... I said, what? I said, stop, dude. You don't have Affleck going to be on this picture, are you really? Well, you don't like him? I said, no, it's not that I don't like him. I just went through hell with the guy. I mean, I don't...
Right.
Literally from one show to the next.
Unreal.
So next thing you know, he shows up on the set, right? You know, I was like, hey, Mikey, what's up? I'm like, here we go, right? He was more mellow, but he still was not, Mr. Nice Guy. So there's two different situations. I'm going to tell you one.
Okay.
Because this is a prop man's freaking dream. Nightmare dream come true.
Okay.
Right? Puerto Rico. They don't have turkeys there to eat.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
You can't go to the grocery store and buy a turkey. Even Thanksgiving, it's like very few. You have to order them in. Director comes up and says, hey, we got this scene. I want him feeding turkeys to the alligators. You know, it's supposed to be his place, you know.
Yeah.
And we're out on this, I don't even know what, a reservoir. And it's got this cement peninsula that goes out 100 yards out to the end. And it's, 20 feet wide, 15 feet wide. And they had a big walk and talk all the way out to the end of this thing. And then he goes down there and he's throwing turkeys over to feed the alligators, right? I tell the director, I say, hey, listen, man, I can't use rubber ones.
Right.
Because they're going to float, It's not going to, that's not going to work. And not only that, but in order to get, a couple hundred rubber ones, that's going to cost us, $30,000, $40,000. Right. And the UPM's going to have a heart attack, know. So we can't do that. I got to use real ones. Okay, Mike. Okay, man. Yeah. I want to use real ones anyways because I want to see the slime. I want it to be real. No problem. Go to find an order. You get them from Florida, right?
Right.
So I ordered, I think it was like 250 turkeys. Oh my God. I get flown into the grocery store, right? The dude's like, what the heck's going on? Yeah, no, don't worry about it, man. So I got them all, got them delivered, get to the set during the day because it's an all-night shoot.
Yeah.
All night, the whole
bunch
night.
Of coolers.
Right? Sundown to sun up. So got them all on ice, dry ice. He's only supposed to throw one. Right?
Right.
But I know this scene's going to take all night long.
Sure.
It's because it's the only scene we're shooting, right?
Right.
And this ain't, with this director, he's going to do every freaking angle and high and shy tights and all this. And Affleck, I know, he's a character actor. Uh-huh. He's not going to want to fake throw this turkey over every time. He wants the real thing. Okay, I'm going to take care of him, right? Go to do the rehearsal. And like I said earlier, I'm standing by watching the rehearsal, and what's he do? He throws 3 of them over during his dialogue.
Wow!
Throws one and keeps going back, and
he throws one, has
delivers
a little dialogue,
some lines.
Goes over, picks up another one, throws it. He's making a point to the other guy, right?
Are there real gators in this water?
No. Oh, okay. Yeah. There were real gators. Yeah, they were in there.
So you had to fish them out.
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
So I thought, okay. So I thought all this stuff out. I told the UPM, hey, listen, man, are we going to have divers out there? Yeah, we're going to have divers for safety, in case somebody goes or whatever.
Right.
I said, perfect. I said, is there any way that the divers can go down and pick up the turkeys when they hit the bottom? He goes, yeah, we'll talk to him. So, a week before I talked to the divers and the guys, the safety guys. Oh, yeah, no problem.
This is night, though, too, right?
Oh, yeah. There you go. Flashlights. Hold on. Nobody realized that this was about 80 feet deep.
Oh, my God.
This reservoir, right? So the divers, after the first rehearsal with the three, he says, Ben back, the director comes up, Mikey, are we okay? We okay? And I'm all, no, dude. I said, if he's going to throw, you're going to have to tell him you can only throw the one that we talked about.
Right.
I said, otherwise,
run out of birds.
You're gonna be done at midnight. Oh, we can't have that. And I'm all, okay, so you need to go tell Ben that he can only throw one turkey. He goes, well, I can't do that. What are we going to do? Yeah, what are we going to do? And I said, I don't know what to tell you, man. I said, all I can do is tell you right now that the divers went down and they can't find a damn turkey.
Right.
They said they get down there and it's mud and it's silt, so
black,
it's gone. They're gone.
gone.
Oh no, Mikey, you got to help me out. What are we gonna do? And I said, I don't know, man. I don't know. So here we are. So I was scratching my head and I'm just like, okay, I got to go get away from here for a minute.
Yeah.
So I'm walking by all the trucks. They're all parked on the street. And I see the effects guys. They didn't have anything working that night. Zero. Nothing. So they were cleaning, doing some cleanup like they typically do on their trucks, when they've got a minute. And I said, oh, dude, what am I going to do, man? This guy, he's doing this. And, is there anything you could do to help me out with that? And he goes, I don't know. They're going to sink. He goes, if we'd have known, we could have done this, we could have done that. And I'm all, yeah, I know, if we knew. And if I would have got the turkeys 3 weeks ago instead of 3 days ago, we could have done that. You're right. But as I'm sitting there looking, I see he's got one of those like waist belts that, safety, water safety belt on the side of his truck. And I get this ding, ding, ding. I say, hey. I said, what are you doing with that belt, man? He goes, I don't know. It's just for water safety. And I said,
can I cut it up?
And he's all, wow, what are you going to do? I said, I'll tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that thing up. I'm going to stuff it inside that turkey, and you're going to sew it up. And he starts laughing. He goes, oh, that's a great idea. Yeah, let's give it a try. So we cut it up, sew it up, throw it out there, and the turkey goes down, bloop, bloop. Whoop, right back up.
Nice.
And the turkeys are floating, So cut to later on in the day, right? At the night.
Right.
And Affleck, he knows he's got me by the balls.
Right.
Man. He's going to fry me because he's throwing them all overboard, man. Right. Next thing you know, they're floating up. And I can see he's looking like, getting all like, what?
Indignant.
What? And now they're coming up to him all wet. And even more slimy, And he's all, whoa. But he didn't have nothing to say, man.
No.
The director came, oh, Mikey, oh, my God, how'd you pull that shit off? Oh, my God. I'm like, I don't know, dude, but...
That's the golden moment right there.
All I know is the sun's coming up and I'm going home, buddy.
Yeah. And that scene's over.
Yeah, I'm not thinking about this again.
Right?
Wow, that's amazing. Hey, before I let you get out of here, there's one thing I want to talk about, and you tell me if you don't want to talk about it, and then we won't. But I want to talk about American Sniper and... the mishap on American Sniper with the baby. Yeah. You want to talk about the damn baby?
The baby. It comes up.
Because here's the thing.
Oh, it still
You
comes
have
up.
this illustrious career where you've done all these fantastic movies. In one way, it kind of defines your work on that damn stupid movie. Because I was reading this thing where it said that because of that, it didn't get nominated or it didn't win the Oscar or some bullshit like that.
Which who knows, maybe.
Well, but I mean, so there's 2 points to that. One, shit happens, and 2, it points out how important props really are.
Yeah, right. If you look at it that way,
right. Well, seriously, when you look at it that way, of all the films that you've done, all of the great work that you've done, if any one of those things was wrong, it would show up, and it could ruin the movie. It could take you out of that scene or whatever. Yeah. So just walk us through what went down with the damn baby. You were supposed to have a real baby, and the baby got sick. Is that what it was?
Well, yeah. I went round and around with the producer.
Sure.
Producer and UPM. Clint is very, I'm doing everything real.
Right.
It's not, he's that dude.
Sure.
You know, it's real or I don't do it.
Right.
You know, and we respect that. And so we give him real.
Yeah.
Right. So he had 2 sets of twins on the day. And I forget what happened with the one set of the twins.
Right.
They let them go. They weren't right. Something. I don't know. So they had another set of twins.
Right.
And got sick. Right. Well, in the meantime, I talked to the producers and I said, hey, should we have an animatronics baby for these scenes?
Right.
Right. How much is it? Well, the animatronics, so you get the, you get the puppeteer, you get the whole thing.
The whole
We're talking probably 30 grand.
Right.
You know, 30, 40 grand to put this fake baby in there on the day, you know. Oh, no, Clint will never go for that. No. We're not doing that. We're using the real kids. That's it.
Right.
So I thought, okay, you know, I better cover my ass a little bit at least. So I just went down to get one of the real prosthetic type babies. Right. And if you looked at that baby, you know, this is one I gotta give to Bradley. He killed me on that one. You know, he took his little finger and started moving that thing, and it was like, no.
He tried.
He tried
to do a puppeteering action.
Yeah, he gave it the good old college boy try. But little did we all know it turned out to be the biggest Hollywood fail. Right. A freaking fake baby on American Sniper. But yeah, I mean, you look at the baby. It looked as real as possible because it was a real deal. You know, it was a $10,000 or $12,000 baby.
Right.
You know, to have there.
Yeah.
Right. Just on the in case.
Right.
Well, here it comes. Okay, we're gonna shoot this scene. Cut to, we don't have kids.
Right.
What do you mean we don't have kids? We don't have the kids.
Kids went home and one's sick.
Yeah. Okay, what are we going to do? We got to shoot the scene. Mike, what do you got?
Right.
I go run out of the truck and get the little baby, the $10,000 kid, and put it in there. And sure as a shit, that just didn't work out so well, you know? Wow. What are you going to do, you know?
What are you going to do? I mean, at least you had another big... My question, I mean, I guess in the future, they'll just reschedule it. The shoot.
No.
Were you on location and you couldn't...
No, that's something that Clint does not do.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. If you miss something, it's over.
Wow.
There's no... He does. That man, he makes that script. It sticks.
Right.
The day you start shooting that, there's
it doesn't change. Huh?
No, there is not a change. There's not a word change.
Oh, that's nice.
If there's a word change, it's not on paper. It's between him and the actor.
Right.
And it will be a word, not a whole dialogue. You know, of stuff. It is set in stone. The movie when it gets made, and that goes with everything, schedule to everything, all the way through. I mean, I can count maybe 3 or 4 times where weather has caused us to make a change.
Cover set or whatever.
Yeah, but not for the best.
Right.
Oh, what was that? Iwo Jima.
Oh, right.
We're out here at Blue Cloud.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, we're doing a scene where we're up and down the side of this hill, this mountain.
Right.
And then the next day we're moving out to somewhere in the desert, like a long ways away. That scene, everybody, you know, he shoots 6-8 hours on a day at the most. You know,
yeah,
I've heard that. Yeah.
So we're gone.
That's fantastic.
Well, we had to shoot this other scene during the day, so we knew it was going to be kind of a long day. You know, it might be a 10-hour day. So we shoot this other scene during the day. Producer's not realizing that this scene that he's going to shoot tonight is going to take all night. So this ends up being a 14-hour day.
Wow.
And we've got these backgrounds out there. Oh, guess what? It starts raining. It starts dumping.
Wow.
It's pouring rain. He didn't give a rat's ass, man. And we're shooting it. Doesn't matter. It's not changing my movie. And we sat there and we shot this, and there was background people freezing there. They were walking off right and left by the time 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning rolled around.
Right.
They're out of here, you know. We're done. We're freezing.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? He's that kind of guy.
Right.
This is it. We're doing it. Move on. And that's how he keeps on budget. That's how he keeps things rolling. You know, that's how he keeps his people on their toes.
100%.
You know, so it works. But
Sure.
in the case of a baby, it didn't work so well for us.
Yeah.
Well, as long as a career that you've had, something is bound to go wrong at some point. So
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah. You can't be perfect. You can't.
yeah,
can't
no,
be
I've had
perfect,
mine.
man.
So everybody has that moment. It's awful, but
Yeah, I'm sure I've had more than that one. You just don't.
you didn't see
Maybe
it.
didn't make the. Maybe it's on the cutting floor. I don't know.
Yeah, right. Maybe they were able to catch it.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Wow, that went fast.
Yeah.
That was great. I mean, I really loved every bit of it.
Well, good.
So now you're retired,
Retired.
and how's that going?
Oh, it's great.
You
Man.
loving it?
Yeah, I love it. I don't have to get up at 5 a.m., 4 a.m. I don't have to, like I told you.
Right.
I'm driving here at 6 o'clock. Oh man, I got a 6 o'clock call tonight, man. No, I don't. I'm going home after this.
That's
buddy.
right.
Right.
If Clint calls you for another movie, you still gonna do it though?
No.
No.
He did.
He did?
Yeah, the juror number 2.
Oh, right.
Right.
I went in and had to tell him. I say, "Hey, boss, I'm retiring. I can't do your next." What are you talking about? I'm like,
Sure.
Like, look at me. What are you
no,
talking about?
I'm serious. I retired. I pulled the plug, man. He goes, "Well, are you gonna do the show?" No, boss, no, I can't because then I lose my I lose my money.
Right.
You know, I'm like, oh shit.
Right. You're letting down Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, but he goes, that's fine. You
Of course.
deserve it. You
yeah,
know, get
for
out
sure.
of here,
He should
you know?
retire too. For God's sake,
yeah.
what a machine he is.
Yeah, no, I think he's done. Who knows? That guy could come back and direct another movie. He's just
very
that guy.
prolific.
He's that guy.
Unbelievable. Yeah,
And I know he can do it.
yeah, he's done it well.
No
That's
matter
for
if he
sure.
wants to or not, you know.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow,
But it's been fun. I love the retirement. It's good.
excellent. That's good to hear.
I'm coaching football.
Oh, that's awesome. So
yeah.
you have something.
It's fun. Yeah, it's fun.
You know, because that's the thing. You know, you retire, and all of a sudden, your purpose that you've had your whole life is gone.
Yeah.
So you have to find another purpose. Otherwise, you're going to lose
What type
your
of football?
mind.
It's called NFL flag football.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's, where I'm out in Simi, there's like 900 kids that
Yeah.
play this thing. And now it's going to be in the Olympics. The NFL flag is going to be in the Olympics. Colleges are opening it up for, scholarships and
Right.
stuff.
Wow.
Oh,
So
fun.
It's growing. It's like
what
huge.
age group is it?
It's all age groups. I
Oh.
think from 6 to 15, 16 years old, something like that.
Wow, cool.
Cool.
Did
Yeah,
you
it's
play
just-
football in high school?
Yeah, I played football in, Pop Warner
Right.
back then and in high school. Yeah.
Right. Cool.
Yeah, I would have played college ball, but I didn't go to college.
Right. You were working with Ed.
I was working at the Columbia School of Set Dressing.
There you go.
Columbia TV.
That's brilliant. All right, my brother. Well, thank you for coming out.
Yeah, cool.
It's been awesome.
All right. If you need if this whole thing works out, you got to let me know with
Yeah.
the teachers.
Oh, yeah. I would definitely be calling you.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely.
Because I think that it just needs it.
Yeah, I agree 100%. This is the whole reason why I personally started the Prop Masters Guild was for education. So
Yeah, right.
happy
And it's
to-
been going well so far.
unbelievable. Everybody's done such great work, and especially all the young people that have come in have just like made it their own and like took it to places we never thought it could be. So
Yeah, right.
it's incredible.
Shout out to the class of Streetlights we just gave a tour to of ISS.
Yes.
You guys were awesome. Hopefully,
Excellent.
get some of prop people out of that
Yeah,
class.
100%.
I would like to say one thing before
Sure.
I'm out is
Yeah.
that, this industry,
Mm-hmm.
right, my 40 years of doing it, you see the massive change. And it's one thing about prop masters, right?
Right.
And it goes with anybody in the industry,
Sure.
is if you're not willing to change
Yeah.
and go with it, you might as well leave because you're never going to make it happen.
Right.
You have to go with the change.
You gotta pivot.
When I was young, when I first started, you had the old timers. Oh, this business is never going to be the same. The whole
Right.
thing. Yeah, whatever. And you just blow it off, right?
Right.
Well, it wasn't. That business took changes and changes and changes
Yeah.
over those years
Yep.
like you'd never even imagine,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, sure.
And you have to learn to roll with it.
Yeah.
I've seen from the lighting to the camera to digital
Right.
to,
Crazy.
everything involved in this industry. Computers, cell phones, pagers. What was a pager? Oh, you had to go put a
Right.
coin,
Yeah, Polaroids.
Polaroids,
Yeah.
all of it, right?
Now
Yeah.
volume
So-
stages.
That's a thing that you need to teach the young people
Right.
the same thing. be willing and ready for another change, because there's just because you think this is the state of the art right now, it's not gonna be in 10 years.
Right.
This is gonna be antiquated shit, just like the rest of it was. Right.
Yeah.
Panavision Hollywood's gone.
Yeah.
Come on, really?
No, I know. That's another whole episode.
Yeah, I hope there's lots of brand new antiquated stuff in a thriving industry. That's all I care about. It could change as much as it wants, as long as there's an industry and there's still prop masters.
Right. Unless they're doing all the props AI, then we're screwed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we keep saying it. AI is going to take over, but you always got to have that sense, somewhat of a prop. There's got to be a prop somewhere, and not only that, but here's the key to the props job. Director chairs, everybody hates them. Everybody wants to get rid of them. But it's like I told my guys all the way through. Guess what? 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning on a Friday night, and you got not a single prop working, and that UPM's coming up. Hey, can we lose some guys? Can you guys go home? I said, sure. We can lose that. I can lose all of us. We can take it, but I need your chair.
Right.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Hello.
What do you mean? I said, well, those are my chairs. I got to put them on a truck if you're sending me home. Oh, well, no. Okay, well, then you get. I said, no, it takes 2 of us. Right?
Right.
So the last minute, those chairs are saving your ass.
Absolutely.
Right?
I'm an advocate
and
for chairs.
You have to treat them that way.
Yeah.
Right? Treat people that way with the director chairs. Don't hate them.
Yeah, I agree.
Don't hate them.
I agree. Because it's also a connection to the people.
Right.
Okay, because you're managing their chair, you're managing the things that are in their chair.
Yep.
If they, some actors, they want bottles of water in their chair. You start the day with their water in their script pouch.
Yeah.
Hey, it's all part of the connection.
Exactly. So. But anyways, just be willing for change.
Yes.
That's the whole thing. Roll with it, baby.
Pay attention.
And pay attention.
Yeah.
All right, Mikey, take us out, brother.
Yeah. All right. We got the MacGuffin Awards coming up on September 13th, Saturday, September 13th. So save the date. I believe tickets should be going on sale pretty shortly. Yeah, check it out. It's the only award show honoring prop masters, and there is a lot of great. I think it was 140 submissions this year. So, we got some good ones in there. So come out and see, and give a nod to prop masters. And then thank you to everybody else for tuning into another episode of Prop Talk, the official podcast of the Property Masters Guild, brought to you by real working and retired prop masters. If this is your first time listening, make sure you go and subscribe, and do all this stuff wherever you're hearing this. If you want to know more information of the Property Masters Guild or have any questions for us here at Prop Talk, make sure to go to propertymastersguild.org. We're also on Instagram @_the PMG and all of their socials. That's it. Until next time.
All right. See you in the Zoom world.
Thanks for having me.